Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steven with Freeze Peach Gaming. This is where I like to talk about pop culture, politics, and where the two collide. Today we're looking more into politics, though. I've got a story here from Breitbart News. Biden's DOJ bails out blue cities grappling with rising violent crime. Who'da thunk when you defunded the police and you encouraged people to go out and commit vandalism and riot, that your violent crime rates would go up? Who'da thunk? And now these people are realizing they made a horrible mistake. We actually needed that money. We actually needed the police. Oh no, what do? We turn to Big Papa government and we get the Fed to come in and give us more money. They're going to reappropriate your tax dollars and send them to the big cities. That's what's going to happen. If you don't live in one of these big cities, well, fuck you. You don't really need that funding, do you? They need it more than you. This is, once again, a showing of the fallacy from people who live in big cities that think that us, people living in suburbs and rural areas, need their help to keep going on. Quite the opposite is in fact true. We would do just fine without you. Guess where all the food's grown, fucko? I digress, getting a little bit into the article. President Joe Biden's Department of Justice finishing up the year by giving grants to cities across the country, grappling with a dramatic rise in violent crime. Far-left CNN reported on Monday. It's a little bit of editorialization there. The long and short of it is that these places have defunded their police. They've had massive damages go on, but it's okay. All of these places have insurance, right? The insurance always pays for riots. The insurance never pays for riots. But that doesn't matter. We'll just let them destroy the cities. We'll defund the police. We'll allow violent crime to go up. That way people will want to have more control. And now what we're going to do is have the federal government come in and send millions of dollars. They are spending, awarded from a pot of $1.6 billion to support programs that will supposedly reduce violent crime. Violent crime that was already going down until the state officials came in and encouraged the violent crime and discouraged justice. So they've created a problem for themselves, and now the rest of us have to pay for it. Seems like this is a bit of a pattern, isn't it? I wonder what else this could be attributed to. You know, like in V for Vendetta. Just think about that for a bit. Go watch V for Vendetta and realize just how prophetic that movie is. It is ridiculous how prophetic that movie became. Let's see. One of the grants in the Justice Assistance Grant Program, which will split up more than $271 million between 56 state law enforcement agencies and 900 cities and counties. Hang on, I thought it was $1.6 billion. How come we're only using $271.9 million of that to actually go to the cities? Oh, that's right. They're going to earmark it. I don't know this. I'd have to actually go through all of the paperwork, but I'd be willing to bet. I'd put down real monopoly money that that the rest of that money, the vast majority of that $1.6 billion is going to go to earmarked projects. They're going to be making bridges and fixing roads, and it's absolutely not going to go to any of these politicians' re-election funds. The money could fund programs like multi-jurisdictional drug and gang task force, crime prevention and domestic violence programs, courts, corrections, treatment of justice information sharing initiatives, and other programs aimed at reducing crime and or enhancing public/officer safety, the program description states. You mean what they were already fucking paying for, and then the people came in and elected city officials to defund all of these programs? Programs that already existed had to go away because they were racist, and now they have to come back. Surprise. CNN admitted after more than a year of covering for the Marxist Black Lives Matter and defund the police movements, the grant follows a tumultuous period for cities many of which struggled with protests last year in the wake of the murder of George Floyd. Yeah, St. Floyd of fentanyl OD'd underneath a cop's knee, and now it's murder. In response to this, protesters, lawmakers in some cities like San Francisco, Minneapolis, Los Angeles, and New York proposed cutting back on their police departments' budgets to redirect the funds into other community programs, and look at where a lot of the money is going. Let's see, according to the report, Seattle and Chicago have both been awarded large chunks of money, $771,000 and $2.5 million rounding up, notably. Seattle has repeatedly slashed its policing budget, and Chicago has already more than 800 homicides this year. 800 homicides. That is an absolute assload. I remember when I was living outside of DC, in our county alone, we had 150 homicides in a single year. It's like, holy crap, we've had 3 homicides a week. We actually had more homicides in our county than they had in DC for that year. And we were thinking it's ridiculous. 150. Oh my god, this is a crazed amount. But now 800 in Chicago alone? I'll say Chicago's a good deal bigger than DC, I believe. I'd have to check on the actual data on that, but I believe it's a good deal bigger. Nonetheless, that's a buttload of fucking homicides. Philadelphia is eligible for $1.5 million, rounding up. Baltimore can receive $1.3 million. New York City is eligible for $4 million, and Los Angeles may collect $2.7 million, rounding up. Just look at these ridiculous amount of money going to just the city. Now, if you go further down into here, you'll see the largest recipients of the JAG recipients are California's Board of State and Community Corrections, getting $20 million, rounding up, $19.5 million. And these people have been defunding the police. But no, now we're going to have to get all of the community money that we get from the federal government, that we are forced to give to the federal government. Now it has to go back to these cities. There is the officer for the governor of Texas getting $15 million, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement getting $11 million, rounding up. So I will say, in defense of Texas and Florida taking this money, when you don't charge your people state income tax, now they have significantly higher other taxes, like their property tax isn't the best in the nation, but when you're not charging state income tax, I can't blame you for trying to dip into that pool and getting some of the federal income tax taken from your citizens and putting it back to the proper use. I'll say, at least in Florida, with the bonuses that they're giving to police who are having to move from these areas that have been defunded, or just places where the police are afraid to do their jobs anymore because they're all getting charged for, making simple mistakes. These things happen. I mean, how would you feel if in order to do your job every single day, you had to risk going to prison? How would that make you feel? How would that make you treat the people around you and the people you have to interact with? So at least with Florida, I don't know about Texas with Governor Abbott. I don't know too much about him, but Ron DeSantis down in Florida, I believe, and from what he is saying, that the money, these almost $11 million he's taking for this, will be going to actual police officers as incentive bonuses for them to move from their high crime shit areas where they're being defunded to Florida where they want more police. So this is the big problem here. If you want to defund the police, if you want to encourage violent crime, go ahead and do so. It's only going to pay for the politicians in the long run. Whoever said crime doesn't pay, they were half right. It doesn't pay for the criminal, but it certainly pays for the politicians. That's all I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Please consider giving me a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And have a wonderful day, and never be afraid to speak your mind.